Hello and welcome to the FIFA 20 Team of the Week 17 predictions. If you are new to the YouTube channel, as always, please do leave a like and a subscription. There is plenty more content to come on the channel over the coming weeks. But I've got to say, when we look back at last week's Team of the Week that we predicted, we missed out a lot of players, including the likes of Aguero and Kante, purely because they didn't really do much, but they got into Team of the Week, of course, to boost those pack sales. Now, of course, just like the last Team of the Week, this will be available when Team of the Year is out, so expect a lot of these players to be relatively cheaper than they usually would be. So without further ado, let's get into the predictions. So we start off with three goalkeepers on the screen. We'll start from the left to right. We've got Salvatore Sirigu on the left. He made 6 saves and got himself a clean sheet in a 2-0 win versus AS Roma. Now, he's not the only candidate that could get a card. Andrea Bellotti got himself 2 goals in the same game. However, I haven't put him in as I don't think he will get in. I think Sirigu is the likelier of the 2 candidates. Now, in the middle of the screen, we've got Vlachodimos of Benfica. He made 4 saves and also got himself a clean sheet in a 1-0 win versus Vitoria. I do think he'll probably get into the Team of the Week as well. And finally, we've got Alex McCarthy of Southampton. He made 5 saves and got himself a clean sheet in an impressive win for Southampton against Spurs. It ended 1-0. Of course, Danny Ings scored a ridiculously good goal, and it's a really, really tricky one this week because there's a fair amount of goalkeepers that have done quite alright. So I do think 2 of these players will be in and 1 will miss out. Now, there's also a goalkeeper in the EFL who's a silver that did make 10 saves. However, unfortunately, I do think he will be ignored just because of the way EA have been quite recently with the Team of the Weeks. Now we go on to the defenders, and as you can see, we've got 3 ridiculously good defenders on the screen right now. We start with Felipe of Atletico Madrid. He got himself a goal in a 2-1 win versus Levante. I mean, to be honest, it looks like a pretty decent card, and it'll be relatively cheap because of Team of the Year being out this week. We've got Socrates. This would be his first in form. He got a goal and a clean sheet in a 2-0 win versus Manchester United, with Arsenal playing pretty impressively under their new manager, Mikel Arteta. Now, you could say one to watch Pepe. I believe he got an assist in that game as well as a goal. Actually, sorry, it was just a goal he got in that game, but I don't think he'll make it. I do think Socrates is the likelier candidate, but I guess at the end of the day, it's all about the pack sales, so probably both of them are getting at this rate. And finally, we've got that certain man at the end, Raphal Varane. Now, he only got himself Team of the Week a couple of weeks ago, but he's back in again. This time, 2 goals and a clean sheet in a 3-0 win versus Getafe. Now, that should surely mean he's 100% nailed on to get into the Team of the Week. I mean, he's not been in the vote for Team of the Year, so he should get in there. And hopefully this time they give him a better upgrade than they did on that first in form, because that upgrade was pretty tragic. So I think if he had a card very similar to like that on the screen, he will be worth a hell of a lot, even though it's Team of the Year. Some ridiculous stats there. Now we move on to our final defender. We've got Ezgao. Hopefully I've pronounced it right. He got himself 2 assists in a 7-1 win versus Belenenses. Now, Braga had a ridiculous game of football in the Liga NOS, and he's not the only candidate that I've put into the side. You'll find out who the other one is later on. There could have been plenty of other players that got into the side as well. We've got Diego Castro of Perth Glory. He got himself 1 goal and 1 assist in a 3-0 win versus Central Coast Mariners. Now, last week he actually got himself 2 goals and 1 assist and didn't make it into Team of the Week. So, I mean, 1 goal and 1 assist surely theoretically means he'd get in this time. But of course, with Team of the Year being out, it's all about pack sales. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen in Team of the Week? We might get, I don't know, Team of the Year, Team of the Week Modric for all we know. EA are unpredictable, basically. And finally, we move on to somebody who should be in Team of the Week, Mark Noble. He got himself 2 goals in a 4-0 win versus Bournemouth. Now, of course, Bournemouth have got quite a lot of problems right now in terms of injuries, but David Moyes' first game as West Ham manager ended with a pretty decent result. In fact, I believe it's one of West Ham's biggest results in recent history, so we should see an informed Noble for you West Ham fans. Now we move on to another midfielder, and he faced another side with a couple of injury problems. It is Ndidi. Now he got himself 1 assist and a clean sheet in a 3-0 win versus an injury-stricken Newcastle. Now he's not the only person that could get in there. James Maddison could get a second in form for a goal. I I do feel like they will pick someone from this game, but I feel like Ndidi is the best candidate out of the two to get into the side, and it's safe to say that that will be a bloody ridiculous card. You will see that a lot in Premier League sides, and as I said before, he'll be cheap as well just because of Team of the Year. Now we've got the under candidate that I have talked about from Braga. We've got Ricardo Horta, the winger. He got himself 2 goals and 1 assist in that 7-1 win versus Belenenses. I do think he's the likely one out of Esgao and Horta to get in there. But there's another player that could also get in, the Paulinho, the Portuguese striker. He got himself 1 goal and 2 assists in the same match. So it's safe to say Braga have plenty of candidates this week. And surely we should see at least one of them get in for a ridiculous 7-1 win. And finally, on the end of the screen, we have another A-League player. This is Cruz. Now, you'll probably remember him, the ex-Bundesliga winger. He got himself 1 goal and 2 assists in a 4-0 win versus Newcastle Jets. Now, usually that would probably be enough for a winger to get into Team of the Week. I don't think he is going to get in this time, however. I do think they'll go for a couple of better candidates. Now we move on to an completely EFL page actually. 3 EFL strikers. We start off with Naki Wells. He got himself a hat-trick in a 6-1 win against Cardiff. I would say that is a nailed-on card for sure. We've got Ollie Watkins, which would be a second in form. He got himself 2 goals in a 4-0 win versus Bristol City. And then finally we've got Nikki Maynard. He got himself a hat-trick in a 3-2 win versus Cambridge United. Now this game was on Wednesday night, so potentially there is the likelihood he might not get in because it's a midweek game, but that would also be a second in form as Mansfield look to desperately scrape points in their league. And we finally move on to the last 3 players now. 2 on the screen I do believe are very likely candidates to get into the side. One of them isn't. We'll start off with the 2 likely candidates, one of them being Gabriel Hey-Zeus. He got himself 2 goals in a 2-1 win versus Everton. Once again, this was a midweek game. There's a reason as to why Eves is at the end. I'll talk about that in a little moment. I do think Gabriel Jesus will get in. Of course, missing out on that fitness card not too long ago. And finally, we've got SIF Immobile. This would be his 7th in form. Well, it feels like his 7th in form. It'd actually be his 3rd in form. He got himself 2 goals in a 2-1 win against Brescia. He scored a late, I believe it was a 92nd minute winner to give Lazio their 9th win in a row. So that'll be a pretty tasty card to be in Team of the Week 17. And finally, the reason why I have Tom Eves in the Team of the Week is I don't think he's going to get in. But, of course, we did have FA Cup games this weekend. Now, usually they don't count. But, of course, you know, EA might change the rules up. I highly doubt it, to be honest, but Eves got a hat-trick against Rotherham United, but I wanted to put a player in there to talk about the FA Cup. Now, usually they would bring out man of the matches as separate cards for the FA Cup, but they haven't done any as of so far. Theoretically speaking, the 3rd round is still going on as Arsenal and Leeds play tonight, but if they do include Team of the Week cards for FA Cup games, you will see a couple of alright plays in there. As I said before, Tom Eves being one of the better candidates of the week and the weekend as well, getting a hat-trick against Rotherham United. So we might see FA Cup cards, but don't shoot the messenger because I don't think we will. So that is the Team of the Week 17 predictions all done and finished with. So there's a couple of decent plays in there, and of course, as I said before, Team of the Year will reduce some of these players' prices. So thank you very much for watching the video, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And keep your eyes out on the Twitter and my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/ the top corner. I'll leave the link in the description. There's going to be a 50,000 FIFA point pack opening coming ahead of Team of the Year. So we might also be doing that live on the YouTube channel on Wednesday. Friday, and throughout the weekend. So keep your eyes out for that, and my Twitter, which is @the_top corner. You'll be able to follow it in the links below. But thank you very much for watching Team of the Week predictions, and of course tell me in the comments, who do you think will get in Team of the Week this week? So thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.